Syndicated national radio talk show host Dianne Linderman wants to bring families back to the dinner table with simple, healthy, and decadent 10-minute recipes. Watch as Dianne spreads a little Philly in her Philadelphia uncooked cheesecake recipe. Simply delicious.
I'm going to teach you how to make an uncooked cheesecake. Everything I make takes less than 10 minutes to prepare. And it's healthy, it's simple, and it's decadent. And I know that's an oxymoron, but it is true. You can have decadent, healthy things. And I have just lost about 35 pounds. Even though I use real cream and real butter, there's still a way to use that and lose weight, believe it or not. Just don't follow this recipe if you want to. You can use non-fat cream cheese if you want. But the first thing I want to do is I'm going to make, for my spinach salad that's coming up, I'm going to go ahead and start caramelizing my beautiful pecans here. These are raw pecans. I'm going to put them in some butter. I call that pure love, butter. So that's going to be cooking over here while I work on my other project here. We're going to make this delicious uncooked cheesecake. All right. The first thing we're going to do to make this cheesecake is put in, now you can put 3 of these blocks of cream cheese, and like I said, you can do this in low fat. I like to make them very decadent so I can give it to the people in the fair office. So what I already did was put 1 in here because I have a very large, now I usually do not use a crust because my father loves cheesecake and he is diabetic, but you can, this is all very low carb. The other thing I do to make this very low carb is use something called stevia. It is my favorite sweetener. It's very healthy for you. Have you ever heard of stevia before? A lot of people are just starting to find out about it. This is a name brand. It's called Truvia, and Truvia is a brand that is not bitter, and I like it for cooking and baking and things. So I use that, and that's what I'm going to be using today to sweeten my cheesecake. All right. So the first thing I do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw in my blocks of cream cheese. Get my handy dandy. Even these things are really nice. They're kind of hard to handle. Okay, so I'm going to start whipping that up. Now I'm going to add about 2 cups of pure whipping cream. Like I told you, this is pure fat. But it has no carbs in it. Because believe it or not, cream and meat and things like that are very low in carb, and they're finding that carbohydrates aren't as good for you as fat because it's an energy. So you can see what's going on with that. It's starting to really, I'm sorry, David, I got a little cream cheese on your car. Is that okay? All right. You can see how creamy that's getting now. We're going to put 1 teaspoon of vanilla in that. You'll see that I do not measure anything. I have a very bad problem. I'm going to use, this is my Truvia, which is stevia, and I do it to taste because some people like their cream cheesecakes a little sweeter. So I just sort of scoop mine in. I'm very bad about measuring, even though my cookbook has measurements in it, and so does my recipe sheet. So you'll be able to make this. All right, so I'm going to turn this off and just test it real quick. I'm going to have to use my good old finger. Oh, it's absolutely perfect. I don't know, I just have that knack for sweetening things. Now, at this point, this is done. But should I step it up a notch and turn this into a chocolate cheesecake? Or maybe I should just throw a few strawberries in there and turn it into a strawberry cheesecake. Or I'll make a chocolate strawberry cheesecake. That sounds good to me. You can whip that up and then turn that pink, and you can serve it just like that into this crust. Put it in the refrigerator for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Put a little whipped cream on top of that. It's unbelievable. Now, this is when it gets messy. I start breathing in cocoa dust. Now, you all heard about cocoa, haven't you? Chocolate, how good it is for you. It's all I had to hear. That was when I was on a diet, and then I said, oh, well, I'm going to eat as much as I can because it's good for your heart. I heard about that this morning. Now, you can make this as dark as you want, or you can make it milk chocolate, but I got to tell you something. There's a lot of fiber in cocoa. There's 25% fiber, so it does do things to you. Trust me, fiber. Okay, so you got the picture, right? All right, so the other thing it does is it makes this real thick, almost like a fudge. So you can actually turn this into like a truffle. Cream cheese is the best. Philadelphia cream cheese, I absolutely love. Has a great flavor. It's pure. You don't have to add anything to it. All right, we're almost done. Now, the secret is getting this into that without getting it too messy. Okay. This is absolutely beautiful. I don't know if y'all can see that from there. Here, Catherine. This is my assistant, Catherine, over here, doing a fantastic job like usual. We had a restaurant for about 30 years. Catherine was my partner along with another little girl that's, we call her little because she had a twin sister. They're about 4'8", and that girl could carry around 50 to 100-pound boxes of pastries. She was amazing. We retired her though. Okay. Look at that. Is that incredibly beautiful? That's enough to make you cry, isn't it? That makes me cry. I want to eat it all right now. All right. That is an uncooked cheesecake, and I'm going to tell you something about cooking things. If you can eat things raw, they're much healthier for you. And if you can make even desserts like this, if you had to, you could add eggs to this and cook it. But why? It's perfect the way it is. It's absolutely beautiful. And all I'm going to do, besides lick it, is add some whipped cream. Catherine, you can lick that. Don't let anybody see you. Now, I'll tell you a little secret about my whipped cream. I do know how to make whipped cream. Does everybody out there know how to make homemade whipped cream? This only has 20 calories per 2 tablespoons. Now, when I was losing my weight, I had to find something rich. And this is my favorite brand. I don't know if the distributor's here, but I love it. So if he wants to be my sponsor, I use it for everything. The other thing is it's really fun, and it's really thick, and it's real cream. There's nothing added to this. So I figured, how much do I think is 2 tablespoons? Well, I first of all started measuring. So I put a little dab. Thought, no, that doesn't look like a tablespoon to me. So then I just decided, well, that looks like a tablespoon to me. Okay, so I decided maybe just a little bit more, and that's about how much I was eating. I was wondering why I wasn't losing weight. So I had to go back to measuring. And then on top of that, I add my strawberries. And you could do them beautiful, but I don't do anything that takes time because I've got businesses, kids, a husband, I write books, I'm on the radio. I just want it to look gorgeous. And I want it to look homemade because it is homemade. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so there you guys go. I hope to inspire you. Go home and do this yourself.